Welcome to the Big Fish. I'm Captain C.T. Williams, and this is my friend Craig Dennis of Fish Vector Underwater Lights. The summertime heat is setting in. It's getting awfully hot, awfully quick. One way to beat that is by heading out after the sun goes down. You can see the sunset has just gone down behind us. It has officially set. And we're heading out to the Mr. Go, or Mr. Gone, as we like to call him now, since they've officially closed the Mr. Go, to do a little night fishing using the Fish Vector Underwater Lights. So this is the first time we've tried it as a fishing-only technique, not a byproduct of sitting on the houseboat and relaxing in the evening after big, long fishing days. So let's get out there. We'll probably get there right at dark. We'll set the light out, and we'll see how we do. Now we're leaving right at dusk, and we're going to be running down the back levee canal of the Mr. Go, or Mr. Gone as we call it. Now that's not a difficult run, but there are some tricky spots in it. If you don't know it and you want to do something like this, my recommendation is you leave before dark, get set up, fish tonight. When the sun comes up in the morning, you make your way back. It's a lot safer that way. There are some flats that if you miss a turn, you're going to stay on them until the sun comes up and somebody comes to get you off. So if you know it, well, good luck. If you don't, be safe before you do something like this. But this is a great way to fish. So we're going to head on down and see if we can't get some night fishing done to beat the heat. A little later in the show, we're going to head on down to 808 Bienville with Chef Denny Flynn and see what he's doing in the kitchen. So come on, let's go fishing.
Do you feel like fishing? Kick back, keep wishing.
That's what he is to go.
We try that one more time.
It feels so fine. Just to wet a line. Big fish is your style. Spread the sound of the
He hit it with a vengeance. Can you believe that?
It's a big fish. So we've run out to the cut in the rocks, and we found a spot that roughly has a channel depth of about 6-8 feet, and then it rolls up to right where the rocks are.
Anytime you can actually find a drop-off, you want to position the light right at the edge of the drop-off. What happens is your larger fish at night sitting on the bottom, it actually brings them up and calls them up to the light, and then of course once they get to the light, they see the bait and they feed.
We've got the light sitting right off of about a 6-foot drop-off, and the beauty of the light is this: it really doesn't matter how deep that drop-off is. You can adjust the weight, and the light themselves are separate. The light has buoyancy, it floats, and you can take the weight, you put a loop in the cord, and you adjust the depth of the weight to the light so that that light sits about 4 feet underneath the water. It gives it the most opportunity to spread out, and you can see we've only had the light out long enough to get the generators running, to get the light up at full speed, and already you have a phenomenal amount of bait starting to congregate around that light.
It also makes a sound that mimics
Talking about that earlier.
bait fish.
Fish have a lateral line here and here, which we call it sound. To a fish, it's a vibration.
Right.
And different vibrations travel through the water at different frequencies. What Fish Vector does, Fish Vector has matched the frequency that fish hone in on and follow and travel into. That's why it's called a Fish Vector, because they can vector in on a sound and it pulls them into the light.
It's a lot of science, but you know what? It works.
All the way to go. Berkeley Gump, under the light. That's a 12-inch speckled trout. And he's in the post. Boom, and he's on the floor. Nice! It's a fish! Woo! Nice. Box is looking pretty good there. Not bad. Good start. Very nice. Craig, we're fishing relatively close to the light, and truthfully the tide's sort of moving from left to right from where we're standing. There's a pretty good chance that we might catch the light. What's the best advice?
If you by any chance happen to hook your line or wrap a lure around it, just cut the line.
You don't want to move the light.
You do not want to move the light, because once the light moves, everything it spooks everything. And on top of that, if you stick a fish hook into the light cord, you could possibly do damage to the actual light, causing a short.
Cut it, pick it up later, retie, do again. And you know, we're talking about when we set this light down, you said 45 minutes to an hour. It takes a little while for everybody to get used to it. Sun go down, bait congregate, fish to find their attack angle and all of that. And so if you pull it up, you probably have another hour even if you don't hurt anything.
Right.
We're fishing the rocks right now, and a few times we catch the rocks anyway. So you're having to retie, you're having to flirt with disaster a little bit anyway. So it's better to just put on new, tackle's cheap. These lights, they're effective, but they ain't cheap. Where is Sam? Where is Sam? Sam, we fishing or we fixing?
Trying. You know what? Part of fishing is having a good time, and I'm having a good time.
Just easing it out there. Working right around the edge of that light, letting it sink down to the bottom. Probably bouncing just under the light. Whoop,
Scoot over.
Let me get out your way there, buddy.
My goodness gracious.
Sam, they're definitely getting hit. Now, I think some of these may be croaker. Just sort of get that little brr, brr on the tail.
How'd it go?
Brr, brr. You feel it. No, you saw that? You didn't see that. Okay, that was a brr that I missed, but I probably shouldn't have missed that brr. Come on, take it. I didn't miss that one.
I thought there was a Berkeley.
I didn't miss that one.
Oh, God.
He gulped it.
Here we go.
Woo! And he's in the boat. Boom, and he's on the floor. Gulp does that too. That gulp will just release that fish right on the floor and let it get right back out on top of him. It's amazing. It's a miracle bait. Fish on Sammy. Right over the light.
Not Sam.
Oh, it's not Sam.
Come on, we all know Sam knows.
Choo-choo. Choo-choo. And then Julie, were you on the bottom? Were you?
I was on the bottom.
It came up quick. You got on that light fast.
Bouncing it. He hit it hard too. He was
Right
excited
over
about
the
it.
light. You get hits every time. Now we're seeing some little croaker come in on the bait. So some of this is croaker just feeding on the bottom, but good trout. Oh, thought that was a good trout. Don't think that was croaker. Croaker, you get the brr. Trout, you get the That's the brr brr
Yeah.
you keep talking about right there.
Yeah, that's him.
Where is he?
Oh.
Put him in the live well, please.
Yeah, really.
Hand him to me.
Let him drip down.
Put him in.
That's a 6-pounder waiting to happen right there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yep, glad.
Might be the only bait that is better than Berkeley Gulp is a live croaker.
What'd you catch that on?
Berkeley Gulp.
Berkeley Gulp. No measure.
No, I'm thinking another day.
Another day. Let him grow.
Berkeley Gulp catches the big ones and the small ones. If you stay tuned, I may knock CT off the front of the boat. Just joking.
Oh, that's a good fish. Nice. Now you've got a lot of explanations for the science behind these lights, but I know you can't tell me why they seem to be going back and forth from one light to the other. We will get 2 here, and then 1 over here, and then a little while later another one over here, and then 3 over here. It's one's deep, one's shallow. I think it's just.
I think the only explanation I have is there's a feeding frenzy going on.
Scattered trout, because of the high river water, we've had some issues about dirty water and scattered fish. But yeah, they're scattered, but they're still feeding wherever they can get to the bait, and the bait's congregated by the light. The lights make the noise, the fish come in and find the bait.
Right.
Tell you what, it doesn't matter. We're getting a good box of fish, huh?
Yeah, the good box.
Nice box of fish. Come on, get it over.
Oh, yes, ma'am. That's a nice fish.
There it comes.
Hey, if you want to beat the heat, catch some fish at night under the light, call us. 504 Big Fish.
Woo! Open up the fish box and slide it in the bottom.
Good time to realize that. It don't get much better than this.
Good video.
Yellow.
Nice.
Not a bad trout.
Right over the light.
Wow. Just glad I caught something.
Good fish.
Thank you.
There you go. Fling them in. Look at that. Craig, we've talked about a lot of advantages to the fish vector underwater light. We've talked about the ability to fish close. We've talked about the way it makes noise and calls the fish in, and certainly the light itself that attracts the bait that then also attracts the fish. But there's another advantage. It's the one that you mentioned to me. You know, you said, I'm going to fish every night I can this summer between Memorial Day and Labor Day because for two reasons. You catch bigger trout, and it's the Star Tournament.
Correct.
And so, you know, the night fishing will attract the bigger fish and probably give you a little advantage.
Absolutely. Biologists have actually done a lot of research, and once fish get to a certain size, they have found that fish become nocturnal. And that's why we catch the 5-pounders and the 8-pounders and the 6-pounders pretty much consistently under the lights at night, where in the daytime, you know, it's kind of a hit and miss type thing.
Well, the small fish have to watch for bigger fish behind them.
Exactly.
You know, so that they want the light when they're feeding as well. The bigger fish don't worry, so they can feed at night, not worrying about something, you know, coming up and sneaking up on them. So you have a better advantage. Hey, what a great night fishing. I want to thank you for showing us the fish vector underwater light. Give it a try. I think it's really worthwhile. We're going to have a couple stuck down at the Big Fish camp for sure, using them on the houseboat, using them on trips like this. You see how effective they are. The great advantage that we were talking about earlier is if you're an inshore fisherman, this changes the game. You don't have to go find a lit rig somewhere. You don't have to navigate water that you may be uncertain about. You can bring the fish to you with the fish vector underwater light. I want to thank you again for a great night of fishing.
Thanks for bringing it.
Hey, thank you for watching. We hope again to see you next week right here on Big Fish TV. I'm Captain C.T. Williams, for Captain Sam Barbera, for Julie Grunwald, for Craig Dennis, and for cameraman Glenn Bonet. We'll see you later. Good night. Let's go get some sleep.
Sounds good.